Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to my review of Batman Beyond #1. Now, this issue is sort of continuing the motif of the previous issue, Batman Beyond Rebirth #1, where you've got the Batman front and center this time against a red background. And of course you have Dana over here. I was surprised that, that's not Dana. That's Max, and that's Matt, his kid brother, and I believe that's Dana. I was surprised when I'm watching the show that Terry never formed a relationship with Max, because they seemed kind of close to me. But anyway, this is the comic book, and anything can happen, but I do have to say, Dan Jurgens, who writes this, sticks pretty close to the cartoon. And of course it says at the top, several decades from now, and Terry is narrating himself. My friend Dana Tan is being held by the Jokers. I don't know the exact circumstances, but can't be good. But it can't be good. And this is his name's Terminal. Answer my question: who's the most influential citizen ever? Escaping the grave. And of course there's Dana Tan, who is really kind of, she's pretty. She says, that's easy, Carter. It's Batman. Wrong, Dana. And I told you to call me Terminal. The correct answer is my main man here. A dead man who will be the first person ever brought back to life. The Joker. Well, evidently, Terminal never read the Bible. Because Christ beat the Joker to it. And he's narrating over here, saying, I was gone for a few months. In my absence, the Jokers took over a whole neighborhood. They call it Joker's Town. And there is the dead Joker that he wants to bring back to life. And there's a nice headshot of Dana. Ridiculous. If not for Batman, who's still here, Gotham would have disintegrated years ago. Don't overlook the obvious, he says. Who inspired a legion of followers? Who does everyone really want to be? The Joker. Who we really wish to be when we want to kill our boss, spouse, neighbor, or the librarian, or the evil librarian that gave us an overdue fine. Why, the Joker, of course. An evil librarian that gave us an overdue fine. That's funny. A person who can't take a fine because they turned in a book late is a person who can't handle responsibility. To me, it's that clear cut. Is it? Terminal says he must live again. People think they should be Batman, doing the right thing and suffering for it, because Batman always seems to suffer. When it's the Joker that truly inhabits our souls. You're crazy to think you can revive him, she says. And he says, My dear Miss Tan. Now, he's about the same age as her and calls her Miss Tan. We are all about crazy. What better joke could be played on Gotham than reviving the Joker? So back here at Wayne Manor, Dana's plight wasn't the only thing on my mind. My kid brother, Matt, was breaking protocol in a big way. This way, Max! Because he has her blindfolded. No, he's not going to get kinky with her because there's, big age difference there. She says, "You're freaking me out. Where are we? I was sworn to secrecy, so we have to do this my way, okay?" That explains the blindfold, but it's still weird. You want to find Dana, don't you? And track Terry while he's looking for her? And she says, "None of which explains the freaky blindfold. We're almost there," he says. "See?" And he takes the blindfold off of her. "Yeah, I see." She's shocked. The Batcave. And she says, Matt says, "Batman," and she says, it's Max who says, "Batman's lair. Talk about Shui." Lair? What kind of word is lair? This is the Batcave. Terry's costume has a bunch of sensors and stuff that lets us see what he's up to and talk to him too. Uh-oh. Trouble? The signals we're getting are weak. Really weak. Something's wrong. And it's because Terry is under a pile of rubble, even though he's narrating himself. Wrong? Yeah, something is wrong, alright? I thought, it says, namely a few tons of rubble piled on top of me. I thought being Batman was supposed to be fun. Now he's thinking like himself when he was 16. That's kind of strange. I mean, who wouldn't want to fly, hang with the Justice League, and drive the swayest rig ever built? And he says, anyone with a brain, that's who. Can't move. Can barely breathe. Some massive dregs. Some massive drag put me here. And right now, I have no idea how to get out. So he is really in a situation. And outside of the rubble, he says, I can hear him up there. You know, the dude who really hurt him in Batman Beyond Rebirth #1, laughing, waiting for me to die. And this dude, you know, looks like a cross between Bane, because he has the tubes going in him, and the Joker. Then he hears, Terry, can hear me? Matt? Come in. Right? He can't hear me. Probably terrified that I'm dead. Of course, he's not dead. like I'd give these creeps the satisfaction, he thinks. Let's set it on fire! Burn him! Explosive charges in what feels like a pipe. If I drop them in, plan's forming. And they go far enough down, they might just end up where they can do some good and not kill me. And on the next if it's fireworks they want, boom! Look at that. Now this is where I get to talk about the artwork. This is a massive explosion here. And it even sends Terry flying out of control. This is bright. It's hot. This is TNT set afire. You know, this is good art because it immediately catches my attention. And it doesn't have to be extremely detailed because he was under a pile of rubble. But it's good. That's good. Having this explosion right there. He says it actually worked. Don't know if I'm lucky or good. He says I'll take it either way. And then there's his brother. Signals are coming in strong and we have a picture. Go get him, bro. Tear him up. And there's Max in the background waiting. You know, she's concerned. I think Max always secretly had feelings for Terry, but that was never explored. Free? Bah. Hey, I may not sport the latest in Joker's wear like you fashion plates. You know, his banter reminds me of Peter Parker when he's fighting people. But that's no reason to bury me. Ow, what are you made of? Whack! Gonna make toothpicks out of your spine. Then he tries this, which makes no sense to me, but it's kind of funny. He says, you wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you? And I'm sorry for the fuzziness. I can't do anything about that. And then he's sent flying into a truck. He says, guess that's a yes. And he's narrating to himself again, what was I thinking? Had my shot. You blew it! What he said, because now he's propping himself up against that big truck. I know a joke when I see one, and you fit the bill. And he's picking him up like Terry's a featherweight. You know, he's like he's nothing. How can this be happening? His brother says. That monster's backpack amps him up somehow. Worse, Terry isn't sharp. That there's bound to be. Now he says out of shape. Spellbinder, one of his enemies, had him under control for so long that there's bound to be some residual effect. He says head swimming, hard to think straight. So, it looks like he's about to lose or die. Didn't like that shot to the ribs, did ya? Let's fix that. So he picks up Terry and squeezes him. Squeeze those suckers right out of you. And then he's about to get squeezed literally to death here. And then he has an idea. If you can't beat the enemy, then at least fake yourself. Not fake yourself out and do as much damage to the enemy as possible, because he uses both hands and cuts the tubes on his back. And then he says, without the juice, you're nothing. And you can see how that Joker, sort of comes down to size. He says, no way you should be walking away from. I heard you the first time, because then there's lots of people that coming after him. Says, kill the bat, 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 kill the bat. You'd hate it. He says, for what? A grand prize trip to Paris? The mimes wouldn't appreciate your humor. And so he gets struck on the back of the neck with a blade, no less. And then they start to smack him up some more. And he's really taking some beating here. So, what can you do when you've faked out the enemy as much as you can? If you have the power, go up, fly, which is what he does. And, of course, the Jokers celebrate that they made the Batman, get Jokers down. But look at Terry. I mean, really look at him. The shoulder, the arm, torso. He's totally beat up. I mean, he's in dire condition. So back at the Batcave, why'd we lose the picture? Max says. The way those maniacs cut up his suit, the comm system was probably shredded. How could Terry let him do that? I thought he was better. Max says, give him a break, Matt. The odds were overwhelming. And no, he says, I wasn't ready. I treated it like a romp, like I had it in the bag, like he was when he was, a few years younger, around 16, when he first met Bruce Wayne. Instead of recognizing the seriousness of it all and dealing with it like Bruce taught me, which is what he did, he trained Terry. She says, Bruce? Wayne used to be Batman, but he died in the eyes of first wave of attacks. And Matt is always excited about something or other. Isn't that supposed to be a secret? He says. So he said Terry says, we can trust Max. Besides, Dana is our main concern. Have to pray I didn't put her in more danger by going in without a plan. If anything happens to her, it's on me. Maybe this is one time Batman can't do the job. Don't say that, his brother says. Why not? It's true. Couple thousand Joker wannabes? That's beyond Batman, which is, sort of flipping. That's flipping the name, since the name of the comic book is Batman Beyond. His brother says, but not now, Terry says. And he's sort of let down, because he says, I can't believe it. My brother is a quitter. You heard him, Max. He said Batman couldn't win. Not quitter. I said Batman couldn't fight them. And then Max, standing there, just says, you cannot be serious. Because if you can't beat someone, you gotta go in with a different plan. And he says, you know what they say. If you can't beat them, join them. And he's dressed himself up as one of the Jokers. Next, Undercover. Now, that was my review of Batman Beyond #1. I am sorry for the fuzziness, but, I can't do anything about that right now. Maybe if I get something better, like a new tablet or something like that, then the reviews won't have this fuzziness. I don't know. I can't predict the future. But I hope you enjoyed this review. It was a good issue. A little bit slow in places. But it was basically, setting the stage for what's to come. I know I say that a lot, but it's true with a lot of different stories. And the artwork, it was pretty good for starting the series, or I should say restarting. But I enjoyed it, and this is a good series, so I do recommend Batman Beyond. And if you can still find this the beginning of the series, I recommend that you do get it. Right now, it's probably in trade paperback, so I would go to your local comic shop if the individual issues are no longer available in your neck of the woods. So if you enjoyed this review, if you had liked it, or if you liked the issue, or if you didn't like the issue, let me know in the comments below. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics. I thank you for tuning in. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And smash that bell like She-Hulk so you'll be notified of all new uploads. Like the video and share it with someone who might enjoy it as well. Till next time, true readers.